What's up everybody? Welcome back to this video, and we are going to talk about how the stock market has officially topped 30,000, the highest in history. And honestly, what does this mean for the economy? Stay tuned. What's up guys? So as I shoot this video, reports have come out as of yesterday that the Dow Jones topped 30,000 for the first time in its history. Now, how could that possibly be with everything going on, and how could the stock market continue to rise? Those are some questions I was asking as I started to do a deep dive into some research about what I found. And again, not to bore you with all of the information that I found, because I don't know how valid a lot of this is, but I can tell you what is valid, that the Dow Jones topped 30,000 for the first time in history. Now, this is coming off of a multi-year low that happened at the beginning of this COVID crisis, where the Dow and the entire stock market dropped massively. And now, fast forward 9 months or so, we are looking at an all-time high. It is actually, quite frankly, mind-boggling. Now, there's a couple reasons for this based around the research I was able to pull, which is they are getting that much closer to an antidote for this coronavirus and to have an actual vaccine. Some reports have it coming out in weeks, some just after the holidays, but I think people are starting to see that this is a reality, that we could actually have a vaccine, an antidote to this virus, and actually start to move on with our personal lives. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is, even though it is not here as a matter of time, but the economy has been bruised and battered and beaten because of this pandemic, but yet the stock market still increases. And everything a rational person would think about would tell you this is likely not the case. You would not think that the stock market would continue to rise during these times. However, the facts show it is the case. We are currently going through more of a spike than ever. There are more cases and more hospitalizations and more deaths happening, and by all means, this is not meant to be a big fear video at all. I actually tend to be on the opposite side of that. But even amongst all of that, over the last several weeks of the big spikes and the big hospitalization spikes and death toll rising, we continue to appreciate. In my deep dive, I did find out that they are looking for an antibody cocktail to be approved as quickly as next week. Now, obviously, that brings some power and some confidence to the general public, as well as business owners, hopefully in the economy, can actually help from that. And some of this is really taking shape now as they are really pushing this, that there are gonna be vaccines, antibodies, an antibody cocktail coming very, very fast, and it's giving more confidence to the people. There's some other things that I was able to dive into. President-elect Joe Biden is going to elect Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen, who is well respected within Wall Street, to Treasury Secretary. Now, to talk about that and the whole politics and what has transpired over some time, I do believe, based around, again, articles where I don't know how much validity are in there, but a lot of the reports are saying that the public is creating more and more confidence as Donald Trump is leaving office, and Joe Biden is making some of these first moves, such as Janet Yellen, and that is creating more and more confidence in the sector. Now, that is very subjective. All these articles tend to be very subjective, so I'm trying to keep to the facts for you guys. But the reality is, if that confidence does continue, then that's a good thing for the stock market. It's a good thing for investors, and it's a good thing for these big companies, because there's so many other things that could end up toppling this stock market. One highlight that I loved, because I actually invest in this company, Tesla, had a great increase of value, topping over $500 per share. Absolutely love seeing that. And they haven't even hit the S&P 500 yet. I actually, as a personal opinion, think that that stock is actually going to continue going up, which makes me very happy as an investor myself. The majority of what I saw while going into this deep dive really was based around COVID and this pandemic and the medicine the recovery, the antibody cocktail, the vaccine was in large part a lot of what most of the articles I read about. They do seem to be very subjective because they can't put a date on it and exactly when it's coming out. But they say that it is coming, and I think that is really helping that confidence in the stock market, along with Tesla having a great day. Obviously, as I mentioned, Donald Trump and his organization leaving the Oval Office. There's some things there that in combination has really catapulted the stock market to rise. But it still shocks me because you have to think that with all this going on, and I just did a video about how $52 billion in back rents are owed by certain retailers. I mean, there's just so much compounding. I read another article talking about how, and I might do a video on this, but about how all these mall owners are actually starting to do cash for keys back to the lender, or simply just handing the keys back to the lender. And I'm sitting here watching the stock market appreciate, thinking to myself, even though people are gaining confidence because Trump is going out of office, I don't care what politics you are. That's not the point. That is what a lot of these articles are suggesting. Even though there is gaining confidence in a vaccine releasing very, very shortly, an antibody cocktail, I don't see how, it just still boggles my mind on why investor confidence is still so high to be able to keep pumping up these numbers in the stock market. I feel as if at some level the higher it goes, the further it falls, right? Isn't that, I'm sure that's some sort of saying somewhere, but that's what gets me a little bit more scared. And so this is why when I do talk about the stock market, I do talk about betting on the horse, betting on the solid companies, betting on the Teslas, Amazons, Apples, I mean, Walmarts. They're changing the game, they're pivoting, they're maneuvering, because I just don't know. Now listen, here's one thing I will tell you as I go into the deep dives. Big business and medicine are absolutely intertwined. Big companies like Pfizer are a well-known name that you might have heard. I do understand that, and so I do understand the confidence coming behind, the vaccine and antibody cocktails, etc., etc. But for it to reach an all-time high when we are going through this pandemic, when we had one of the most tumultuous political campaigns that I've ever seen between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and I'm 39, so I haven't seen it all, but I could not believe what just transpired through this whole political season. I could see why it would raise just a tad. I could see why it might not go up or down, but for it to be increasing at the rate it is, it just, to me, it's mind-boggling. I personally, as my own personal investment strategy, I'm not going heavily into anything because I'm betting on the horses. I'm betting on consistency. The Teslas, the Amazons, the Apples, the Walmarts. If you are in the crypto section, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum are some of the grandfathers, so to speak. And so I'm just betting on consistency with all this. It boggles my mind. Is there incredible opportunity? Absolutely. Do your research, right? That's the idea. But hey, listen, if you have your research down, I have friends that do this daily. They day trade daily. They've done very, 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 very well recently, and I respect it. It's not my hustle, but I respect the hustle. At the end of the day, just make sure you do your research, invest wisely. If you're liking this video so far, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. That really just helps the YouTube gods rate my videos. If you are in real estate, go to thescienceflipping.com and check it out. A lot of free resources for you over there. And hopefully I bring you another great video. It is crazy. The stock market is rolling. As I just mentioned, I went down this deep dive about these big mall owners looking to just turn their keys over as retail shops are closing. No one's going to malls. This is gonna get interesting, so I'm gonna continue to bring you all things real estate, business, and entrepreneurship. I hope this finds you well. Peace.